A Spider-Man who can't do a full split.
Punish.
You put animals in tiny balls and make them battle each other so you can obtain little tiny metal badges.
Punish.
You have abs but you can't do an ab crunch.
Punish.
A provocative character who curses and—
Hold on a minute. Take a look at what you just did. I can understand the first one, but you just punished a little kid who was on his endless journey into becoming the world's best trainer. And you punished a girl just because she wasn't fit enough? Is that the way of a hero? Does this make it right?
You're right. What have I done? I should have been better than this. It is I who should be punished.
Punish.
Wow, that was easy.
Hello and welcome back to the Ken OE channel. And today featuring the most unforgiving man in the comic world, the grumpy, the vengeful, the man who will punish you if you sped up to beat the yellow light even though you knew you have more than enough time before it turns to red, the Punisher. This character was featured in the first part of Daredevil Season 2, which is why you have the Daredevil title at the front of the box, but he will now have his own TV series, so looking forward to that. At the side of the box you have Frank Castle looking all menacing and dimly lit, and at the back of the box you have him posing, and also all the figures included in this wave, and the build figure will be the Man-Thing. We finally have the TV version of the character in figure form, and I was lucky enough to obtain Jessica Jones and Daredevil, but sadly still couldn't get the rest, but at least we have the main characters coming soon before the premiere of The Defenders. So without further ado, let's open up Mr. Frank Castle and find out if he really is a badass. Hello Frank Castle, welcome to the channel. Taking a closer look at this figure, Marvel Legends have definitely improved leaps and bounds with their face likeness because this guy really looks like Jon Bernthal in the series. I hope I did not butcher that name. They even got his nose right. In this face sculpt, he also has a few scratches on his nose and the eyes are well aligned. I know the past figures, there was some cockeyed one, so I'm glad it didn't happen to this figure. Going down to this expensive black jacket made out of soft rubber material, his Punisher logo painted nicely on his bulletproof vest. I mean, this whole figure is black, so if they screw up this paint job, especially his logo, people are gonna be very upset. I also have to say, this figure is also sculpted really nicely. You got plenty of creases around his sleeve and his pants down to his boots, and also the shoelaces sculpted nicely, so plenty of detail went into the mold of this figure. Since there's not a lot of paint application going on, I guess that's why they paid a lot more attention to the sculpting and molding of this figure. You can also remove his jacket, however be careful as you're removing it as it may cause a tear if you're not playing with it with caution. So just a tip for anyone who wants to do this, bend his arm to the back like that so there's a minimal amount of pull force applied to his rubber jacket, and it's a little easier to take his jacket off that way. I hope this tip helps, and I'm sure there are many ways of doing it, but this is my way of doing it, and if there's anyone who found a better way which would reduce the risk of damaging the figure, please do share the knowledge in the comment section down below. And he doesn't look too bad without his jacket as well. It looks like he's wearing a smart t-shirt with a bulletproof vest over it. There's even some sculpting on the back of the vest, so I'm guessing Hasbro new rebels like me will try and take his jacket off, so they came prepared. So well played, Hasbro. My gripe with this figure is that unfortunately his legs, when fully straightened, looks like it's arching outwards, which looks a little weird. So if you want it to look straight from the side, you have to bend his knees a little bit. And it was tricky for me to find his balance. I'm not sure whether it's to do with his leg design or the boots, but if you have the patience, then this will not be a problem for you. Also, his hands moves inwards and outwards. I prefer it to go up and down the other way. That way he can hold his gun a lot better, which I'll show more in the accessory section. Overall, I think this is still one badass looking Punisher. Moving on to his articulation, I've removed this expensive looking jacket for the purpose of showcasing his full range of motion. He can look up, although whenever he looks down, it does reveal this really big bulge at the back of his neck, left and right. Not much head pivots, arms move 360, outwards, bicep swivel, flex, elbow swivel, wrist can turn 360 and move up and down. I was also concerned at first that he wouldn't have had any ab movement, as this looks the same as Legends Gwen, but since it's connected with a big ball joint, he has plenty of ab swivel, side to side movement, backwards arch, and to my surprise, ab crunch. Although arching backwards and crunching forward does reveal a little bit of gap at the back or the front, and there's not a lot of ab crunch, but there's still some amount of crunch there, so that's a pleasant surprise. Oh thank God. He also has a ratchet-like low ab cut so he can twist side to side, but it produces some noise, but at least it locks into place. He can do the splits and actually much more than Spider-Man. This makes no sense, come on Marvel Legends. Gotta improve from Spider-Man's splits. He can kick up, no back kick thanks to castle butt, thigh cut swivel, double jointed knees. Legs move up and down and does the pivot, but doesn't move 360. So he still has a great amount of articulation, so well done Frank Castle. More than enough movement for him to execute his deadly poses. Moving on to the Hall of Accessories. He comes with 2 sets of gun, the typical handgun painted all silver but sculpted pretty nicely. They even have the texture on the handle. It would have popped more if they added a little bit more splash of color like maybe the handle. And you also have the M4 carbine equipped with the M203 grenade launcher, the beast. Also sculpted very well and painted all black, and no need for the extra splash of paint because this is what the gun actually looks like, so good job. And there you have Mr. Castle holding his weapons. You can swipe the sides, but I prefer this arrangement. Also to note that due to his hand articulation mentioned earlier, the result is his M4 gun looking like it's aiming outwards then straight ahead. And it comes with the left arm of Man-Thing. The sculpt and paint application for this arm is amazing. You got all his fur with a little bit of yellow green amongst the dark green. And the muscularity of this figure, look at them biceps, that big vein on the biceps. My only concern is how small the peg is for the hand. As you can see, it comes out really easy for my hand. It would have held in much tighter if the peg was much larger. That's pretty much all for Punisher's accessory, though I would have preferred him to have more interchangeable hands, maybe a pair of fists or maybe an army knife, but at least he came with 2 nice looking guns, and for the price you're paying for this figure, it is good enough for me. So, in summary, I still think this is a great figure. Despite the minor gripes I mentioned earlier in this video and his lack of interchangeable hands, he still comes with a decent amount of accessory, that being the 2 nice looking weapons, great amount of articulation, especially the Spider-Man beating leg splits, and he is well sculpted. Anyone who is a fan of the Netflix version of this character, like me, will definitely be happy having this figure in their collection. I know I am. That concludes today's figure talk. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, that would be amazing. Do subscribe for more videos about toys and more. And thank you guys very much for watching. And I hope you guys are embracing the inner kid within you and having a great time. Have a great week, and I'll see you guys at the next video.
Click here to enjoy more videos.